Hello, everyone, and welcome to day one of the AFL trade period, which officially opened today on the Monday. Free agency opened on Friday. We went through some deals on the Friday's video. We talked about Matty Flynn going to the Eagles on a 3-year deal, James Jordan going to the Swans on a 4-year deal, and Joel Hamling on Sunday officially confirmed he joined the Swans on a 2-year deal. Now, in terms of the news today, there'll be a daily video every single day, excluding the weekends, so keep an eye out for that until the end of the trade period the following Wednesday night. And then after the Wednesday night, we'll do a full recap, and then we'll head into more draft content as well. That never goes away as well. Please like the video if you haven't already. We'd greatly appreciate it. Smash the sub button. I want to aim for 3,000 subscribers by the end of the season or end of the year would be ideal. And then when we hit 3K, I'll give some prize giveaways. I'm looking at some of the prizes right now. Right, let's get straight to it because we've got a lot to talk about. All right, some things that we're going to be talking about today include the official trades, the requests that have gone through, the shock request to the Pies from Lockie Schultz, what some clubs send. They're all at AFL House, etc., at Marvel, etc., today, doing all their meetings, and everyone's in the one room or one building at the same time until they will do that again in the last day of the trade period. We've got a lot to talk about. We're going to go through some official trades and some news and rumours that I'm hearing as well. So let's get right to it. I'm going to go through the confirmed trades first. Official, not potentials and very likely or will happen ones, the officials. So today, Monday, we had 3 official moves. Todd Goldstein has officially joined the Bombers as an unrestricted free agent. The deal length, how many years he's got, I'm going to assume it's 2. We haven't got it official yet from the Bombers, so I'm going to assume it's a 2-year deal. So one under Goldie for joining the Bombers on a potential 2-year deal. I mean, North Melbourne's a huge loss, but they rate Sherry and Coleman Jones, and they haven't got a third ruck when they just enlisted Jacob Edwards. So, good move for Goldie, but to move out of North. But I don't think Essendon was the right club. You got Nick Bryan there as well, Sam Draper. I know he's been injury prone at the moment, but Goldie should be a number 1 ruck. Collingwood was the perfect choice for him, but he chose the Bombers. So well done, Goldie, and good luck, mate. Now, the official pick swaps, and I want to go through these and give you a bit of detail as to why it benefits both clubs in both scenarios. I'm talking about the Gold Coast Bulldogs one. It's the biggest one of them all. Gold Coast and Bulldogs did a pick swap, which involved pick 4 and future first, etc., which we'll get to that right now. So Gold Coast received pick 10, 17, and a future first rounder of the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs received pick 4, 46, 51, and a future third rounder of the Suns. Now, that's why I hate people that don't do their research. This benefits both clubs. If I have to pick who won, I think slightly the Gold Coast Suns. I'm going to tell you why this is not a heavily favoured in Gold Coast's favour. Both sides will benefit out of this. So let's just narrow it down for the Bulldogs first. They get pick 4. Great pick for them. 10 and 17, those picks would have been chewed up for Jordan Croft, a father-son to come here. He hasn't officially nominated him, but he will go there. So if a bid comes between, say, 8 to 17, or before 10, 10 gets swiped out, and 17 in the process. So they can't afford that. And even if the pick doesn't come before 10, they might be able to select a 10, but 17 will get chewed up because the Jordan Croft bid will be before pick 17. So they would lose one, potentially both picks. So they had to trade them out, and pick 4 will guarantee Croft won't have a bid on before 4. So they'll be able to select a player they want. And when the bid comes to Jordan Croft in the top 20, they will get him as well. So the Bulldogs are essentially trading out 3 first rounders for 2 players right now. And then I'm also going to go through why it also benefits the Bulldogs. Now, with that keeping that in mind, the Bulldogs will also gain 46 and 51 of this year's draft in the future third. So 46 and 51 will be for points for Jordan Croft this year. They need points to match up to a total. So when the bid comes, the more points you got, the better. You can say these picks are irrelevant, but each pick has a points value to them. So this is ideal for the Bulldogs. They may be paid up a tad more than they would want, but they just wanted to get it done. So they're going to get pick 4, which could be Zane Duursma or Nick Watson, Colby McKercher, whoever that will be. They'll get that player in the door along with Jordan Croft, essentially for 10 and 17 when you think about it. And they lose the future first, sure. But this is where I'm going to say now it benefits the Suns. So that's how it works for the Bulldogs. For the Suns, they'll have to do a bit more trading, and pick 10 is on the table. But in this trade alone, they've got 10, 17, and future first. Number 1, tick for getting a future first, which they'll want in next year's draft. perfect. They got 3 academy boys: Jake Rogers, Ethan Reid, and Jed Walter. Jed Walter will get bidded on in the top 3. So 10 to 17 will end up getting chewed up. So they need to be creative. Ethan Reid and Jake Rogers will have bids between 10 and 20, potentially between 8 and 20. So they need to get rid of these picks. And that's why pick 10 at the moment is on the table. It'll get untraded. North Melbourne and clubs are showing an interest, and it'll work for them. But then you get the future first. So 10 and 17 will end up going out for the Suns. Definitely 10, possibly 17, because that could get chewed up, depending on their points and everything else. Everything else in between. So that's that. So for both clubs, it works for both sides. I think it's a great move for them. Now, Port Adelaide and Freo did a trade swap. This one I had to have a little bit more of a think about it. Port Adelaide trade their future first rounder to Fremantle. So Freo get Port's future first rounder. Port Adelaide get pick 22 and a future second from Freo. Personally, I feel that Port Adelaide win this for one reason. If they were to finish top 4 or around the mark, Freo's pick, excluding academy bids for the following year, Freo's pick that they get of Port's will be between 12 and 18. So they're only making a slight increase, but Port's gained 2 picks, a future second of Freo's, which could be around 30, and 22. So 22 and 30 for, let's just say, 12. I mean, you could argue either side it works, but Port Adelaide will need these picks to trade for Ratugolea and Zerk Thatcher, etc. I mean, I don't think they're worth that at all, Zerk Thatcher or Ratugolea, but they're going to need these type of picks and second-round picks to start conversations properly, because those clubs, Essendon and Geelong, will be stubborn. Now, so that's that. So it's a part of it, solving the puzzle. Part of the puzzle's been completed for Port. They're going to have a lot more to do, as are the Swans. Now, I'm going to mention Ratugolea first here because it coincides with this argument here, or debate. Geelong want, get ready for this, more than pick 22 for Rasava Ratugolea. Geelong and Essendon are insanely stupid and hard to deal with. Ratugolea is not worth pick 22. Port are offering 22 according to Tom Morris. Take it and run, Geelong. He is crap. He's a VFL type player. He plays a nice good game here and there. This is not me having to go Ratugolea. This is just from having to go Geelong more than him. Ratugolea can't help this. It's doing nothing to do with him in terms of what he's getting traded for. It's out of his hands. If Geelong has to stop being unrealistic. You hardly played him, and you suddenly keep rating him. Even when you dropped him, you keep saying how highly you rate him. You had DeConing go down injured, and he played some games there. But when Stewart and Jack Henry was injured, and Ratugolea played what? 6 AFL games to 10 AFL games this year? Yeah, you rate him, Chris. And you think, for a guy who plays stuff all games, for pick 22 is generous on Port. They just want their man. And Geelong, in typical Geelong fashion, are being absolutely ridiculous. Now, another club that's been absolutely ridiculous is Hawthorn, saying that they want a top 25 pick for Jacob Kaczynski. Now, this is where you see clubs get unrealistic. I understand that they have to start unrealistic to get to somewhere similar where they want, but just be real. Some clubs just get deals done, and it's the same teams that get deals done without hassle. And this is why clubs like Geelong don't get things done. And in this case, Hawthorn are just going to be stupid. Kaczynski played about 50 games over 5 years. I mean, good luck again, like Ratugolea, not his fault. But if you want to be seriously fair dinkum, he's not worth a pick in the top 40. You hardly played him, just like Ratugolea hardly played at Geelong. So don't give me this shit now that he's so good now and you highly rated him. You didn't play him every week either. Stop being unrealistic. It's just pathetic. He's not worth it at all. At all. But that's what they're asking for so far. Now, the other official move that they had was Tommy Doedee from the Crows to the Brisbane Lions on a 4-year deal with pick 19 compensation as a free agency move going the Lions' way. The Crows' way. I mean, Tommy's a good intercept defender. Unfortunately, coming off an ACL injury back mid-season with the Lions. Great get for them. They need defender Deb Adams retiring with concussion. Darcy Gardner's a bit older now, so Tom Doudee's a perfect fit. A mature age player, regular player for the Crows, was a future leader, captain for the club. Surprised he didn't get it over Dawson. Great selection. for the Brisbane Lions will be a great gain, and a big loss for the Crows, who need to fill that area out. They're looking at losing potentially Elliot Himmelberg as well as a depth option in more so the forward ruck, but has played as a key defender a bit as well. The next player to go through is, let's have a look, Liam Henry. Yeah, people keep telling me, oh, pick 12 this, pick 12 that. He's not worth pick 12. And Freo admitted today that he's not worth pick 12. They say they want something in the first round, but they're realistic to know that they're not going to get anything that early. So they've come to their senses and understand the situation and know that it's just simply not going to happen the way they think it's going to go out. So they're saying they expect it to be a second rounder. St Kilda's got 31. I understand Fremantle won't accept that, but they should. St Kilda will probably have to get a bit creative and get a pick in the 20 range, and I think that will end up likely being the case. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how that one finishes, because I'm just satisfied to know, like I've always been saying, he's not worth pick 12, Freo fans. Never was, never will. An okay player, a solid player, but he's not worth that at all. So David Walls said that earlier today, so I'm happy that that's where it's going. So, right. Well, let's now move on to the next name. Where are we? Jack Billings. The Pies have what they class as mild interest in Jack Billings. How I see this is going to coincide with the next story. Before this Lockie Schultz story came about, I'm going to link the two together here because they are linked, quite frankly, in my opinion, and common sense. But they got mild interest. Now, I feel they knew this was Billings' story by Collingwood said 2 hours before the Lockie Schultz report came. They obviously would have known that Schultz wants to come to Collingwood. So how I read this is Lockie Schultz and Billings are tied together absolutely. They can't get Lockie Schultz in. They'll leave it till late as possible. And then once they realise it can't happen, they'll get Jack Billings, because St Kilda said they're happy to let him go. If a club comes around, and even St Kilda might play hardball on the end and go, well, now you want JB. This last day, we want you to give up a bit more than what you want to give up. So the Pies, I feel, they'll get Lockie Schultz. If they don't get Lockie Schultz, they'll try to get Billings. They can't get Schultz. They may not. They still could, but they may not go for Jack Billings. JB, I like JB. I would rather keep him than get rid of him for a second rounder. So I'd rather keep JB. I like JB as a player and a person as well. Now, some other new. So Ginnivan gets tied into all this too. If they get Lockie Schultz, Ginnivan's probably out because you've got McQuarrie and Bobby Hill and then Schultz. Then it's Ginnivan, who will be the fourth in the order. They play 2 or 3 max a game. So Ginnivan's going to be stuck on the twos all year unless there's injuries. Or unless they want to change the formation, a player's position, like if they want to put McQuarrie or Hill in other positions, if there's injuries and everything like that. But I reported months ago exclusively revealing that Jack Ginnivan had interest from the Tigers, and if he didn't play much in the final series, he would consider that option. Well, he could now. So keep an eye out. Richmond and Jack Ginnivan, watch this space. I said it about a month ago. So this is not old. This is old news for me, but I'm just thinking it in everyone's mind as well. That post went bananas too, by the way. I just don't make this shit up for clicks or views. I mean it. When I write something like that, I'll tell you. So watch your space of Richmond and Jack Ginnivan if Lockie Schultz does come to Collingwood. If he doesn't, then he'll probably say Collingwood. Remember, he wanted to play finals. He played in the granny, Ginnivan. So it was good for him. But I would like to see the Saints have a look at Jack Ginnivan just personally. But I feel like Richmond could be a good suitor for him. People throwing up the Bulldogs, I'm not so sure about that. But Lockie Schultz, the request came out of nowhere. Freo are blindsided. He's got a contract still, another year. He's a free agent next year because he was delisted to relisted as a rookie and all that stuff and promoted. So he was technically delisted, which now means he can be a free agent next year when he's out of contract. So they would want to, if they're going to get rid of him, you'd rather get rid of him now when you got all the higher power if you're Freo. If you're Collingwood, he could change his mind in a year, so you're going to try hard to get him now. And honestly, a pick around 18-ish to 25 range is about right for Lockie Schultz. One of the best small forwards, pressure forwards in the competition. He tackles, he runs, gets a lot of the ball too for a small forward. He gets about 15, 20 touches a game sometimes. Not one of those low possession getters like, say, a Bailey Fritsch where he gets like 7-ish possessions. Lockie Schultz is always in the mid-teens, so most weeks. So very underrated player is Lockie Schultz. And a couple more things. Ben Mackay Compo, they want it to be pick 3 in North Melbourne, the Compo. Otherwise, they said they're going to force Essendon to make them trade. And imagine how pissed Essendon would be if they have to trade for Ben Mackay when they're getting all these players in. Goldstein just come in. Goldstein, Duursma, and Gresh. Unfortunately, both Jade Gresham and Xavier Duursma both requested trade to the Bombers today. Unfortunately, the Saints will match as well. If they feel the pick compensation isn't good enough, it's a first rounder, Saints will take it. Duursma will be a trade. Could it be a straight swap of Zerk Thatcher? We'll have to wait and see. Carlton want a future pick for Paddy Dell, likely in the 3rd round. That should be an easy transaction. Should be done the next couple of days with the Saints and the Blues. Happy to have Paddy Dell requested trade to the Saints officially yesterday. Pumped for that. Knew that months ago, by the way. Just quietly. And DMAC, Dan McKenzie from the Saints, a free agent. The Gold Coast Suns are showing interest. Josh Galbalich has just posted on the AFL website just before I recorded this. So as a free agent, he would be a good, hard and running wingman is DMAC, Dan McKenzie. Been injured the last year and a bit like Zach Jones, Jimmy Webster, Ryan Burns, and Liam Stocker all got 1-year extensions for the Saints. Look forward to all these daily trade wrap videos tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the following Monday, Tuesday, and that Wednesday night, the finale. And then I'll do a full recap, club by club, on the Thursday. And all the AFL and AFLW interviews, vlogs, everything, all in between all this, and the draft content as well, and interviews, goal kicking challenges, everything. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, greatly appreciate it. Go Saints. Dow, Henry, and Dylan Shield. Bombers reckon it's not happening, but do not rule that out yet. A lot of clubs say they're required playing how highly they rate them. They always say that at the start. Let's see how they change that tune potentially in a week's time. Go Saints!